Hello, thanks for clicking. My name is Mike, and I'm on a mission. I'm going to throw this disc 500 feet. Sort of new to the sport of disc golf. I started playing about a year ago, a little bit over, and I was a bit resistant at first. I had a good friend that kept trying to get me out, and I never really saw the appeal. It just looked like a game of catch into some baskets, and it seemed boring and unathletic. But I went out one day with him, and before our 9 holes were done, I was addicted. I found that the game was nuanced. It took a great deal of skill. There are all these different discs that did different things, and it was fascinating to me. And after that day, I believe I've thought about disc golf every day since then. One aspect of disc golf that has definitely drawn my attention more than others, or has grabbed me, is distance driving. And I think, like most beginners, I wanted more distance, and every beginner wants more distance. How do I throw further? And I think gradually, as people become better disc golfers, they lose that. That hasn't happened with me. I'm still really excited about throwing a frisbee a great distance, and you could say I'm obsessed at this point. So I have taken it up as my mission this year. I'm 49 years old right now, and before I'm 50, I want to throw this disc. No, I'm going to throw this disc 500 feet. So why 500 feet? It's a good question. If you're on the internet, you understand there are countless disc golfers that can throw 500 feet. However, after being in this sport for a while and looking, I have yet to see anyone throw 500 feet on flat ground. Now, I believe I've met a couple people that are capable of it, and I know amongst the top pros at least that there are several, or many even, disc golfers capable of routinely throwing over 500 feet. So it is certainly possible, and some people can do it routinely and predictably. However, 500 feet is still an elite distance. It's quite far, and it's going to, for me, it's personally a great goal. It's going to take more work than I've done already, and I already have a bunch of work in, and it's a nice round number. The work I have in. So day one, I could probably throw a disc 200 feet. I had thrown frisbees before, and I have some athleticism, and it probably went 200 feet. I never measured it, but quickly after that, I started measuring how far my discs were going. I wanted more distance. And after I watched a couple videos and I learned some basics about technique, keeping the nose angle down, trying to release that disc flat, getting your hips into the motion, getting some rotation into it, I could throw 250 after a couple weeks. 300 took me quite a bit longer, I'd say 2 months after I threw my first disc. And it was the same thing, refining technique. One thing that definitely helped me early on was I discovered understable discs. And when I threw, and with enough force that would cause the disc to anhyzer out of my hand and follow an S-curve until it landed, I was taking a lot of energy that was pouring right into the ground for most of my throws and most beginners' throws when they just fade out. I was getting a full flight curve out of it, and that really helped my distance. 350 took a couple more months, and again, it was just learning subtleties. There's so many subtleties to throwing a disc far. A few months more, I could throw 400 feet. And I should preface, when I can throw 400 feet, or I can throw 400 feet now, it certainly doesn't happen every throw. One out of every 5 throws, I can throw 400 feet at this point. But it's still like things have to be right. Like, it has to come out of my hand right. I have to get the right rotation. It can't catch the wind wrong. It's not a sure thing every time. 450 I have achieved now. I have achieved it not often. It's still a special throw at this point, but it happens. And I have never thrown 500, and I feel like I'm getting closer, but the progress is definitely slowing. So what's the point of this video? Well, there's 3 reasons I made this video. One is it's going to give me some accountability. I want to get this 500 feet. I realize that if I throw a frisbee 500 feet, the world's not going to change in a positive way. But I like goals, and I'm excited. And by making this video, putting this to a worldwide audience, I'm giving myself a tremendous amount of accountability. And I want you to hold me accountable. This is just extra motivation for me. Second is I'm hoping to help some people. One, like I had said, I'm almost 50 years old, and I've seen a lot of discussion on the internet about how older folks can't throw far, or they shouldn't expect to throw as far as younger folks, and I don't believe that to be true. I think that through training and believing in yourself, like, you can throw far, and if I can do it, then hopefully other people believe they can too. Also, I've learned some things as I've step by step thrown further, and there's a tremendous amount of good information on the internet. However, I think outside the box. It's just who I am. I'm an individual. I don't think I'm a coach. I don't think I'm special, but I've done things a little bit differently, and maybe my techniques and my suggestions and are not for everybody, but if there's a couple people that can benefit from things that I've learned and different techniques that I've tried, or things that helped me figure out how to throw further, and if I can help others, that's fantastic. The third thing is that I like the camaraderie, and I know that there are a lot of beginners out there, but there are also people that are much more advanced at disc golf than I am, that have been playing years and that can throw 500 feet. And if those individuals are out there and want to give me suggestions on how I could improve my technique or my form, I'm not egotistical, and I welcome those suggestions, anything to help me get there. So I'm going to throw 500 feet, and I would really like it if you came along for the journey. Thank you.